So in today's video, I was inspired by all of you. Last night we did a live for Sonnet's creative team, and so many of you all said that you're afraid to try milk paint. I know it's unpredictable, but you guys, it's so easy and it gives such a cool finish to your product. So just hold on. We're gonna get to that in a second. In the meantime, my name is Sandra and I'm the owner and creator here at Midwest Charm. We specialize in repurposed, upcycled vintage home decor and furniture, as well as all of your DIY products. We have two paint lines. We carry Sweet Pickins Milk Paint. We carry Debbie's Design Diary DIY paint. We carry Iron Orchid Designs. We carry Roy Cycled Treasures. We carry Connie Lines and Designs and more. You guys, everything's found below. Everything's linked below. We have our website, which is www.midwestcharm.co, and then all of our socials are down there below. You can contact us on any of those and we'll get back to you ASAP. And let's get into today's video. I am using my milk paint from Sonnet's Maker's Box. However, I do carry milk paint on my website. So you guys, if you want this paint, click below. I also use my favorite top coat for it. So here we go. Just one video today, you guys. We are using Window Pane by Sweet Pickins Milk Paint. This was in our last Sonnet's curated Maker's Box. I have a link below for that. If you guys are interested in getting in on that, I highly, highly recommend it. But to mix milk paint, you are going to use this milk paint. You're going to use equal parts of the powder to equal parts of warm water. Then you're going to stir this up and you're going to get as much of those clumps out as you can. You're going to let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes and then give it another good stir, getting all the pigments off of the bottom and more of those clumps broken up if they're in there. And then you're going to go ahead and paint. Now mine is a little bit more watery than my norm because this is bare, dry wood. There's no sealer on this, and I knew it was going to soak it up. So I know that this first coat is just going to go on and kind of be absorbed into the wood. But I'm going to make sure I got all of the little corners, the nooks, the crannies inside of this little tray. This is like a little, I don't know. I would personally use this like to hold my mail and keys and whatnot when you walk inside the front door. But I did style this with some little planters, and actually the planters fit in the bottom and that would look cute as well. I didn't photograph it that way at the end because I want you to be able to see the finishing touches. And if you wait until the end, you will get to see the final result. This goes on really easy, as you can see, but we will do 2 coats. So the second coat, I believe I did off camera, and I do all of the edges of this piece as well. Somebody handmade this, and the edges, the top and the bottom, still had the very raw wood, not as worn and aged to it. So I wanted to make sure to cover that up too. And now that this piece has magically 2 coats of paint on it, we are going to go ahead and take a little sander, and I'm trying to show you guys the chippiness in there and the beautiful crackle. It was amazing. We had I was surprised with it being bare wood. A lot of times when it's bare wood, you're not going to get that. And I took a piece of what I had on there off because it was too fine. And I'm just going to take a really, really used 80 grit sandpaper, and you'll see it's like really used. And then I'm going to go lightly over it, not hot or dark. And look at that, you guys. Look at that. I mean, this is like the perfect worn, chippy barnwood look. I was so impressed with the results I got on dry wood. A lot of times when it's dry wood, you're not going to get the same amazing results that milk paint is known to give. I was thrilled. I was thrilled. And I don't know, you guys, what do you think of this? What do you think of how this is looking? You still get the crackle in there. You still get all the goodie. I mean, it's just this paint, you guys, don't be afraid to try it. And with these little sample sizes, this was not even 2 tablespoons worth of the paint out of there, and it more than covered this. I ended up going over a couple spots, like on the ends, a little bit extra, and I really didn't need to. Um, it had really good coverage. And instead of sanding and doing this, you could just do a quick with a really fine grain sand and then seal it up. But I really wanted that worn look to this piece. And it's so smooth. That's something I love about milk paint when you sand it. It's so smooth. Here, I'm just using my hairdryer to blow all the dust off because I decided I was going to use Whispering Willow Transfer by IOD, and I was going to take a part of this and add it to it. I needed something, and this was the perfect thing. I don't have much left of this transfer, as you can see. I love this one, especially for spring. It is so cute. With these little grid marks, it makes it so easy to trim these up. I just went in with my finger and marked where the bottom of that tray was. And now I'm going to go around the edges and cut off a bunch of that excess, just so that it makes it a little bit easier to lay flat. You'll also see me take out my scissors one more time, just to kind of cut where one of the leaves hits the bracket for that little shelf. Now, for these transfers, I know you guys have seen me use them before. They too are super easy to use. I have not sealed up this milk paint, but it is completely dry. I made sure to go over it with my hairdryer just to double check. I peeled off the backer and then I placed it where I wanted it to go. And now I'm going to take my little tool that all of these transfers come with and do a quick rub down on all of the parts just to get it applied down. And then we're going to go back through and like take it from one corner and peel back that top layer as we are peeling or pushing down on the stick to make sure it all gets applied. And with this, if you ever pull up that backer and you have a piece of the transfer on there, you just put it back down and rub some more. So here I am cutting right on where that wood bracket is. I'm going to apply the leaf to the bracket and then push down where I just cut and apply the rest of the remaining leaf onto the back so that it kind of looks like it carries over. Guys, my table's just a little simple card table, and I'm sorry for the wiggles it gives. So we are just going through. I end up trimming this top layer off just to make it a little bit easier to reach in and get where it goes down into that little shelf on the bottom there. But as you can see, I'm just diligently working and pulling this back towards me, making sure everything's laid down. Now there are those seams in the wood where all of those are put together, and I will show you how I go ahead and get those all burnished in and make sure all of my air bubbles are out and all of my seams are down. And this is where I decided it was getting kind of hard to get in there. So I'm going to just snip off this top part of the vellum and set that aside, and then continue to go in and burnish or use the little stick to apply the rest of this transfer. So I love this transfer. This one here has got like little berries on it and the blooms and leaves, and it's just beautiful. And the way it curves at the top there was perfect for this piece. And you will see me go back to the original chunk that I cut off and measure it down on the bottom so the wood boards in the back kind of hang down on the bottom. And I cut just enough to cover where it would have continued down so that it doesn't look like the berries and flowers are growing out of the shelf, which would have been fine, but I just wanted some of that carryover. So we are burnishing this, which means we're just going to take this plastic and go over all of it to make sure there's no air bubbles. And I'm paying really close attention to where that bracket is. And then as you can see, I'm using my fingernails to kind of break up the transfer and push it down and seal it in where the splits in the wood are. This is so cute. And now I'm doing the bottom. And because it has those grid marks, it makes it so easy to measure and get a good cut. And then I line it up kind of where it would have been. And then apply it. And then grab that tool again, y'all. Rub that down. Peel off your top. And again, we're going to burnish this, and this does go over one of the cracks in the wood. So I will do the same thing using my fingernails to kind of cut the piece. And I'm using my fingernails over the backer part there so that I'm not tearing it up. I'm using the vellum to push it down with my fingernails. I hope that makes sense. And now, you guys, I think this is my favorite part. When I'm using a lighter color especially, I love, love, love to seal up my pieces with the oil wax, especially the dark oil wax. It is beyond gorgeous, beyond. I just can't, it just sits in all of those crackle pieces and cracks and chippiness and just enhances it, but also makes it look a little bit more aged. And you guys, this might look a little scary because I'm literally just pouring this into a little container using a brush to apply it. And you're going to let it sit on here for, just a few minutes. Let it absorb into the milk paint. And then you're going to go back in with I have the blue shop towels there. I'm just going to use those to wipe off any of the excess that's still sitting on the top. And yes, you're going to put it right over your transfers. And again, I know this looks scary, but I promise the final result is so incredible. I wish I could have gotten a good close-up picture of this to show you that crackle in there and what this oil wax does. Now this dries so super hard and so super smooth. It is one of my favorites to use on milk paint, whether it's the clear over a different, a darker color, or the dark wax. I just love, or they have white and they have black. I love using these. I love, love, love it. When you sand the Sweet Pickins milk paint, it gets so buttery smooth. And then you seal it up with this oil wax, and the texture is so soft and so, I cannot even tell you. I wish you all could just kind of come and rub your fingers over some of these pieces I've finished with it. It's incredible. Incredible. And again, I'm making sure to get the sides and the ends because they were that really freshly cut wood. And here I am just going to go over this all with my shop towels and get off all of the excess. And it just sits in the crackle. Oh, you guys, it turned out so incredible. I really wish you guys could really see this in person. It's beautiful. Now this can be sealed with a regular top coat. You will see me use, I love the Sweet Pickins matte, but I also carry satin and gloss too for those of you who like a shinier finish. And they have all the colors of waxes too. So you've got some really, really good options when you are going to seal up the milk paint. You guys, and here's the final results. Let me know what you think. I am really excited. Please, please let me know if you plan to try and use milk paint now, if it makes you a little bit less scared. I know it's unpredictable and that's kind of scary to people, but you guys, that's part of the fun. I mean, look at this finish. Would you have known if you didn't watch me paint that this was not the wood color when I picked it up? I mean, it's stunning. It is absolutely stunning. What did you think? Are you as obsessed with the oil wax on top as I am? And I wish I could get a really good picture and close up of all that crackle and all that chippiness that's in there. And even though it was dry wood, it was so amazing. One of my daughters, I sent a picture and she's like, oh, I called dibs on that. So we'll see. I have a feeling it'll end up in the new booth. Which if you aren't watching my reels, go check that out. Anyways, I appreciate you all watching. Thanks for doing so. Have a great weekend and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.